Hello ladies and gentlemen, Yessik Ziiq here again today to bring you another episode of Indie Crunch, and today we're looking at Super Hexagon. So Super Hexagon is a game where it's your only job to avoid walls. The controls are only left and right, and depending on what you're playing, it is very hard. Actually, no matter what you're playing, it's very hard. As you can see, my best time on the easiest difficulty, which is Hexagon, is just over a minute. Then 39 seconds, then 14 seconds, and 13 seconds on the very hardest. Well, not the very hardest, there's actually two that I have not yet unlocked. And this game is only $3 on Steam. You can look it up, Super Hexagon, and it's by the same person who designed VVVVVVV, which is an insane platformer. And this is equally as insane in terms of difficulty. So I'm going to start out now, and you will kind of see why. As you can tell, I'm controlling that little triangle right there, and I'm just watching the walls come at me and dodging them. Now, this might seem simple, this might seem fairly easy, but most people I've seen play this actually die generally within the first couple seconds, their first play, and a good score as far as I've seen is about 30 seconds for a lot of people. Now there's a bit of pattern memorization. There are certain obstacles that are familiar to me that are not familiar to other people, and even though it does not seem like it, it is actually more than you would think just a rhythm game. And this is because you hold the button in a certain rhythm in order to make certain lengths of dodge, if that makes any sense at all. And as you can hear, she is shouting out different levels in the background. I freaked out there. So the levels are line, or dot, which you start on, and then it goes, or I think maybe you go to dot after 10 seconds. Anyways, levels are every 10 seconds, I'm fairly certain. Yeah, so dot, line, I forget what the second one is, but you will hear it soon, I'd assume. Anyways, it's all just dimensional shapes. So triangle, then square. Square is one of the hardest levels. And I will very shortly show you some other levels, but the other thing about this game is it is incredibly addictive, because to restart, all you have to do is hit space. So it's one of those, just one more time, I bet I can do better, I bet I can get 10 seconds. And I have found myself playing this for several hours and streaming this to great success. People have actually enjoyed watching it more than I would have initially imagined for a game of this type. I've reached triangle now, and I should be at square soon. You can run into walls, by the way, you just cannot hit them. So if you run into a wall, you are perfectly fine. I hate those specific levels. Let's go. Okay, and I have almost made it to Pentagon, and Hexagon is the last level before you actually segue into the hardest, the fifth hardest difficulty. So I made it to 51 seconds there. 60, it starts onto a different stage entirely, which I can show you with the Hexagon here later on. Hexagon, yeah, hyper mode. But instead I will just show you Hexagoner, because the music changes, and I like all the music in this. It's quite good. I'm hoping you can actually hear it. If not, I will shut up for some time and show you. So the difficulty curve in the different levels is absolutely ridiculous. And there are obstacles in this that I have not yet figured out exactly how to dodge. I've dodged them once or twice just by complete chance. There you go. That one's one of the hard ones that I keep talking about. Although I have done fairly well on this level, so it clearly isn't as hard as some of the later levels. Yeah. The other thing I like about the music is that it never skips too much of a rhythmic beat when you die. Like, it starts in a different place, but somehow it manages to maintain the beat and maintain the rhythm, which is a big problem in a lot of rhythm games when you screw up, like Guitar Hero, for instance. Once you screw up, the rhythm kind of gets off, and you therefore have a hard time getting back on rhythm. Whew, that was a really intense one. I almost made my best score 10 seconds away. And the hardest one and the hardest music is Hexagonist, of course, if you don't include the hyper modes. So I will show you that, then I will show you hyper mode, and then I'll head out for the day. I've never made it very far in this, because it's just way too fast for me. Like I said, those super hard. I applaud anybody who gets more than 30 seconds on any of them, even though I have 60 seconds on the easiest, because it's not an easy game. Like I said, made by the maker of VVVVVVV, and he is well known for making his games not only super addictive, but super impossible to beat or to play. And I have seen people with scores of like 60 seconds on hyper mode, which is absolutely insane if you ask me, or impossible. Maybe they just got lucky. Because even this is kind of beyond me in terms of reflexes. So one more thing, here's Hexagon hyper mode. So after you play Hexagon for 60 seconds, this is what starts happening. You're back into line levels, but it's just going like 10 billion times faster. And it is changing directions and more disorienting to watch, to say the least. There we go. Got myself right into the corner. As you can tell, I'm a bit out of practice, but I thought I would share this game because it is super cheap, super fun, endless hours of entertainment, fun to show your friends and be like, hey, can you beat my score? And they'll be like, yeah, I can beat your score and last for 2 seconds. Anyways, lots of fun all around. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Indie Crunch, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.